Today I want to show you how to remove, lube, or replace your clutch cable on your Yamaha Road Star. There's a rubber boot up top. Go ahead and just pull it back. Then you got the lock nut. You may need pliers or something, but you loosen that up all the way and then turn that in. If your clutch cable is broken, this is going to be easy. Now, you've got connectors down at the bottom. Just take your a little screwdriver and go on the side. You can kind of see where it's slotted. And just open them up. Just like that. Now there's a plastic piece that keeps the wires off the oil cooler lines right there. Just don't worry about that. Now on your clutch lever, you just want to pull this back, push forward, and work it out of that slot just like that. Now we're going to pull the cable out. Unscrew this adjuster nut. Enough to where the wire will come through the slots and it lines up with this slot here. Pull it forward and there's a little slot underneath and you just drop it out, and that's it. If you don't need to replace your clutch cable once a year, it's a really good idea to grease it so you don't get moisture down in here, and what happens, it starts to fray, and once that gets rusty and starts to fray, it will break. And when you're out on the road, you do not want your clutch cable to break because it's a pain in the ass. Just inspect both ends, make sure they're nice and clean. It slides freely. Another trick we can use lubing that clutch cable, if you've got painter's tape, just take a piece of painter's tape, clean the end of your cable really good, and we're going to make a makeshift funnel. Just tighten the bottom. You can spray the lubricant right inside. And just keep filling it up until it comes out the other side. Slide the cable back and forth. And this also helps clean the cable itself. Any dirt, grit. It's already coming out the bottom. Just keep doing it, clean the cable, and then let it drain out and you'll be good. And that's it. We got a nice lubed cable, nice and clean, free of debris. And what we're going to do when we put this back on, we're going to take grease and we're going to grease the end of the wire on each side. And that's going to help protect the exposed wire to weather. Painter's tape's a good friend to have. Now you want to take some bearing grease, pull the cable out, get some grease on your finger, and just grease that cable that's exposed. Slide it back through, repeat the process on the other side. And that's it, you've greased your clutch cable. Just repeat the process of reinstalling and you'll be good to go. Okay, now we're going to reinstall the clutch cable. Go ahead and start with this end. Remember the groove here goes underneath. There's a slot with the hole, and pull it back through. Find the groove in the adjuster nut and slide it in. Now turn the adjuster nut a little so it doesn't fall back out. Now just feed your cable back through. Like so. Okay, once you get the cable installed in the clutch lever, feed the adjuster nut all the way back in to give you slack enough to install it on the clutch housing. So you want to feed it through the bracket. Pull the excess, feed it through the bracket, like so. You want to push this clutch lever forward, turn it just a little, and you'll feel it snap in place. It might be a little tricky, just take your time. Now, reconnect the brake line to the clamps on the frame. Right below that nut is where you want to connect it. So the nut hits that bracket. Then reconnect the top one. Slide your keeper down. And this just keeps the brake line off the oil tube so it doesn't get hot. Just like so. Now we're going to readjust the clutch lever. Now, the rule of thumb is this has got to have a little play on your clutch lever. And a nickel in between this is a good adjustment. So you want to feed that in until you can fit a nickel in between that. And that's the play you want, because you don't want that being too tight, because it'll wear your clutch out. So if you can get a nickel in between this, you're good. Just make sure you don't line up the grooves in the adjuster nut and the lock nut in the same place. And slide your rubber boot back over. Test your clutch, and you're good for another year. Well, I hope this video has been helpful if anyone needs to replace your clutch cable or if you just need to lube it. Thanks for watching.